Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a pleasure it is for us to be here at this wonderful occasion. But before we get into the program, we want to do a prayer for peace, which is so needed in this country and in our world of today. We need to get hold of and spread the word of God in our dealings with each other, and gradually our living faith will overcome the satanic anger, and the peace of God will rule in our hearts, and God will guide our feet in the way of peace. I want to make a few comments that peace does not mean an absence of conflicts. Differences will always be there. Peace means solving these differences through peaceful means, through dialogue, education, knowledge, and through humane ways. Peace comes from being able to contribute the best that we have and all that we are towards creating a world that supports everyone. But it is also securing the space for others to contribute the best that they have and all that they are. We are dedicating our parish to be the Peace Parish, and we look forward to everyone being a part of this. So let me just say the prayer for peace from the famous St. Francis of Assisi. Merciful God, to you we commend all those who need your help. Lord, make us an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, give love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there's doubt, faith. Where there's despair, hope. Where there's darkness, light. Where there's sadness, joy. Grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For in giving we receive, in pardoning we are pardoned, and in dying we are born to eternal life. And we look forward to a wonderful evening with awesome people involved. And the first person that I'd just like to introduce is Mr. Opio Horace Donovan. And I just wanted to highlight a few things from him, or about him. He was born in Portland, Jamaica. He studied at the Edna Manley College of Visual and Performing Arts, Jamaica, and the University of Arts, London. Opio has participated in many exhibitions and staged his major solo exhibition, or Story, in London in 2007. Opio's major work exhibition was his cement fondu bust of the right excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey, which will be the centerpiece in this exhibition. Opio was an illustrator for children's programs with satellite television in the UK, and was commissioned to create a large model of the knee joint for the BBC television program, Body Matters. A great interest of Opio's work is the regeneration of the local community. He has worked with neighborhood groups and schools to creatively improve and brighten their environment. Opio desires that his work will enhance the lives of those who experience it. Opio is also an industrial techniques teacher at Christiana High School in Manchester.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Yes. Okay.
Go ahead.
Right, yes. I like to consider myself a great grandson of Queen Nanny, because I was born at the foothills of the Blue Mountains. That's a little village called Shrewsbury, yes? And the artwork that I have to represent Queen Nanny, you will see out there, it's the woman with the gun, right? She has a gun, okay? And that picture was taken from a picture of Queen Mother Yaa Asantewaa of the Asante people of Ghana. So, and that is where we are from, who are of the Asante people, okay? So I did that of Queen Nanny, and that is just the revolution in me and in us. The first piece that I did is called Journey. And it starts with like a baby in the womb coming right through to childhood, going into adolescent, going into adulthood, going into eldership, old age, going into the ancestors, right? And then the underworld or the spiritual realm, yes? And that is like the life, the cycle. And I'm not gonna jumble up a lot of things, right? But this year, or this Independence Year occasion, is the 60th, yes? The 60th Independence. And the theme is reigniting a nation for greatness. Now, when I look around for greatness in our country, I can see the sports people. We all know about Usain Bolt, we know about Shellyan, and we know about all the other great athletes. Yes? Well, that is where we are already great. I can also pinpoint our reggae music. Because when we look at people like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and all those other artists, right, I see greatness as well. So I see greatness there. Where we haven't been great is teaching the majority black population of over 90% of our population. They are Africans. We have not taught our people about our history, where we're from. Now, if we want to talk about greatness, we have so many great civilizations in Africa that would inspire anyone. I don't know why we don't incorporate that into the curriculum. We have Marcus Garvey. I'm a teacher, right? I've been teaching for over 30 years. And I've been teaching in Jamaica since 2008. And not one time have I heard anyone in a classroom say anything about our heritage where Marcus Garvey is concerned. We hear that it's going to be put in the curriculum. And then that's it. We don't hear anything else. Right? So we might be waiting another 60 years before anything like that happens. And I think that is a disgrace. It's a disgrace because I, for one, I'm sorry that Marcus Garvey was not able to participate in politics in Jamaica. Because he might have been the only one that might be able to really ignite the greatness inside of us. Because once I learned about Marcus Garvey in my teens and started studying about Marcus Garvey and looking at what he has achieved, what he has done. And really, I don't even see where Jamaica is really appreciating that. You understand? And I think that would be a great start if we really want to ignite. Because I don't understand reignite because I can't remember. I was born before independence, you know. And I was born in 1959. So I was 3 years before independence or something like that. Yes? And I've watched our development since then. I'm very disappointed with our politicians. Yes? From the point that they have not put anything in place to teach us about ourselves. And I think self-knowledge is the greatest thing because when you know yourself and you know that you come from great people, I think that will stop a lot of the crime that we see in our country. You know? And that is one thing that I will be trying my best to push for. Yes? Self-knowledge education. We learn about everyone else. We learn about America, we learn about Europe. Right? Because our history is entwined with them, yes. But where did our history start? The curriculum does not touch on that. Yes? And I see that as very embarrassing. Because just to mention one quote of Marcus Garvey, just one, right? A tree without roots is dead, really, isn't it? A tree without roots is dead. Now, if we, as Jamaicans, do not know about our roots, then we are dead. And we see that people are dying around us. You know, and the way our people are dying, you know, you don't expect that from civilized people. You know? So I don't want to be too long. Self-knowledge education, I think, is very important. We need to teach people about themselves. And when you know about yourself and you see great examples in the past, you know, that will inspire you to strive for greatness, or at least see greatness within yourself. Yes? So that is the main thing that I would like to put across, right? Also, in my work, I've touched on the crime and the violence. And because Marcus Garvey is my number one hero, so that when I had the opportunity, I did a large bust of Marcus Garvey, and it's out there now. And I've lifted that bust, taken it everywhere. To IRFM, Marcus Garvey celebration, which is next month. I think it's 21st of August. I've taken it to Devon House, the UNIA celebration of the birth of Marcus Garvey. And I've lifted that bust. And now, today, it's a long time I haven't taken it out. And today when I took it, when I took it here, I could hardly lift it. I mean, it's made from cement. It's made from cement fondu. Now, cement, as you know, is concrete, it's a heavy thing, right? It's not solid, but if you lift it, or if you attempt to lift it, you would believe that it is solid. Okay? But it is quite thick. Yes? And, well, I'm praying that someone will take it from me. Okay? Because it is in my house, and it's only me and my family that really enjoy it every day. And I would like it to be somewhere where the whole population can enjoy it. All right? Okay. Right. Thank you. The next area that I touch on is the crime. Yes? And when I'm talking about crime, I'm not just talking about the gang activity that's going on, right? But also people that's supposed to know better. And we are talking people who are in government, people who are running big international organizations and ripping off our poor little country. You understand? I hit out against people like that. Yes? Because the school that I teach at, and I'll be resigning the end of this year. So it's really April, the end of the financial year. Okay. Right. as I said, people who are privileged to be in great position have the opportunity to really build the country. Yes? And when people like that start ripping off the country, we can't get any lower than that, I don't think. All right? The other topic that I'm very passionate about is reparations. Reparations. Our foreparents gave their blood, sweat, tears, their life to build Europe, really. Not intentionally, but they were forced to do that. Okay? And I think it's only fair that we get compensated for all of what our parents had to go through. And sometimes I talk to people and they say, slavery gone long time. They say they are doing well. And that is fine, yes. But what about those people in our country who can't afford health care? Who have to, sick people traveling from country, have to go to, everybody going to Kingston for an operation or for some, medical procedure or whatever. No, that is what reparation could help us with. Because we need good health care. We need hospitals in every parish. Good hospitals that people don't have to, old people don't have to jump on minibus traveling to Kingston. Right? The next thing is, as I said, I'm a teacher. I teach at Christiana High School. We are still on the shift system. The shift system. That means 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds are leaving school at 5 o'clock in the evening when it's all night. To go and catch taxi to go home. We need school buildings and we need proper equipment. Right? In England, I lived in England. I taught in England for a long time, probably nearly 30 years. Probably not as much as that. Right? Probably 20 years. Okay? Right. So yes, I taught in England. And their schools, well-resourced. They have everything. In that, I went to Titchfield High School in Portland. And when a past teacher at Titchfield, an Englishman, who was lecturing at a college, and when they were changing out their equipment, their science equipment, he was a science teacher, he gave us about 8 barrels, big barrels of things that they were throwing out. And when we sent that to Jamaica, the teachers, the school, everybody was so happy. And they shared it with others. About 3 schools got equipment out of that. Now, we shouldn't have to be depending on that. We should be able to go and get good new equipment, modern equipment, whatever it is, the latest. You understand? And talking about reparations again, right? I won't be long. When I was teaching in Titchfield, right? Not Titchfield, I was teaching in England. And my tax, the tax that I pay, was going to pay the slave masters, right? Because they had to pay back the bank that they borrowed the money from to pay the slave masters. So those are all wealthy people. What did the enslaved got? They got nothing, as we all know. They got nothing. No, man, I think we all should stand up and make our voice heard for reparations. You know? Our farmers need irrigation. They need water to water their plants. You know? How many times that a farmer go and they spend a lot of money, buy seeds, buy fertilizer, buy everything, plant, and nothing come of it because it might be just a bad year when we didn't get no rain. So they lose everything. You know, we have good arguments for reparations, right? And if the governments that we have were really thinking about the population, right? All those people who are squatting and do not have anything to show for their labor, whatever they've done. We have a strong argument, and we need the reparation because we need to be able to build our country. Our country at the moment is underdeveloped. One of the pictures out there, it shows Lloyd's building in London, right? Nice big building gone all the way up to heaven. All right? It's our parents' slave labor that built Britain. You understand? We need to talk up about these things. You know? All right? And I could go on and on. But, thank you. Thanks everyone for coming, right? I really appreciate you being here. All right? Okay. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think he deserves more than a little applause. He deserves a big applause because he is saying all that we all feel within our hearts here and what we have. I know that Valerie is celebrating. I see her eyes bright up there. And we're talking about Marcus Garvey. One of the things that we're planning to do, we're not waiting on government. We're going to have the Marcus Garvey training, education through Valerie Dixon with the community tourism training that we're planning for next year. It's very important that we have our children understand the roots and the culture and heritage. And we're having this program, Villages as Businesses, to show communities how to manage your community as a business and do a business plan and to be able to have businesses within the community. A school is a business, everything he's talking about. But I'm going to be frank with you. One of the issues we have is that if we don't produce a business plan for everything, we're not going to get any help. And there are a lot of NGOs out there that are willing to help us, including our diaspora, who have decided to be our lead partners. They want to see the country move. You can't have this ad hoc type of development take place. I didn't hear Horace talk like this before. I know you had some things bubbling up in his heart.
NFT, basically, is you being an artist, selling your artwork digitally on material. We do trading cards.
Okay.
So this is my digital artwork.
Yeah.
But instead of like having it like this,
Yes.
it's on an online platform.
Sure.
You can look on OpenSea and you can sell these.
I'd love to talk to you more about it. Definitely. Yeah, man.
We'll link with the lady and rather be more.
Right.
So I'm gonna be showing myself a lot.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, man. It's something I'm interested in.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna look the artwork.
All right. Okay. So.
Yes, sir.
Just to say a bit about each piece, you know, some of the pieces. Right. This is a piece that I referred to. The title is Journey. And I'm very into our our culture, our origins, you know, our history and so forth. All right? And this comes from the Akan people of Ghana, yes? And it's a traditional religion, you know, it's called Akan. And it's from the Ashanti people, right? I think it's a European, they call it Ashanti, right? But the original is the Asante, which I took my name from, Opio, Asante, yes? So in this picture, as you can see, there's a baby that's in the womb, and then the journey begins, okay, to childhood, as a mother, and then teenage, coming up, to adulthood, productivity. That's what this symbolizes for me, right? That's productivity, and then continue to old age, yes, and then from old age it carries you to ancestors, yes, and so these are the ancestral spirits, and the cycle continues, all right, so that's it. Now, the large hands underneath here represent God, because we are all in God's hand, or in God's hands, yes? So that's what that represents. There are other symbols like the river and so forth, and if you study the Akan philosophy or spirituality, then you would see in more detail, the meaning of the different symbols. Yes? Okay. So that's journey, and it's oil and canvas. Right. Over here now, we have rite of passage. Yes? And I think that's what we are missing in Jamaica. Now, we can learn a lot from Africa. Yes? Rite of passage is where an elder or an enlightened person, yes, older, teaches the younger ones. Now, if you look here, you will see it's all men, right? And the only reason why is because women's initiation are different from, they don't just put men, girls and boys together. Yes, they are separate. But, in Jamaica, I see where our women are doing much better than our men. If you go to university, for instance, most of the students you'll see in the university are women, yes? And a lot of the men are doing something which, unfortunately, negative. You understand? Now, this is where a learned person or an educated or an enlightened person is imparting to the younger ones, right? And I think this is different from school, because I did mention about self-knowledge earlier, and that is where he's imparting not necessarily academic material, but life material, yes, learning who you are, yes, and if you don't know yourself, then it's like you don't know anything, because I think the first thing that you should know is yourself, right? And there's this book, When We Ruled. This book, When We Ruled, and it's written by a brother called Robin Walker, yes? And this book is a very good history book on all the different civilizations in Africa, from east to west, north to south. And it really goes into detail, So anybody who wants to learn about their African heritage, I recommend that book, yes? When We Ruled by Robin Walker, right? I did say that this is Queen Nanny, and Queen Nanny was born, she born in Africa, and then she came here, all right? But before Queen Nanny, there was another Queen Mother called Queen Mother Ya Asantewa, and that was a picture of her, yes? And I more or less just copied the picture, but I'm leading it now to Queen Nanny in our situation, yes? A liberator. And Opio means liberated, okay? Right. Here now, this one is also oil and canvas. This one here is oil and canvas as well. The title of this is Every Athlete's Dream. Yes? So we know that we have the two best athletes in the world, although one has retired. But having sounds that he might be coming back, which would be great, all right? So we have Usain Bolt and we have Shellyan, right? Now, I couldn't paint everybody because we have other great athletes, right? So they are representing all our athletes, basically. All right? Yes. And as I said, this is also oil and canvas. All right? Now, here now going into taking a different avenue now, right? Looking at Jamaican culture, these are some of the fruits that we have, fruits and vegetables and so forth, right? So we have the apple, the OTT apple, right? That's carrot there. So if you look good, you'll see them. This one here,
okay.
That's chocho.
That's the pear.
That's a pear, that's
Yes.
right. Banana, coconut, and national dish. Aki, right, okay. And this is pencil, color pencil on paper, all right? Color pencil is one of my favorite medium. Because,
will it fade with
yeah.
time?
Sorry?
Will it fade with time?
Oh, well, I've not had a problem with that, Yes, so it should be okay. Right, over here, I love to champion women because I'm really impressed with, because a lot of our women are bringing up children on their own, right? So they are nurturers, yes? And I really give them credit for whatever we have achieved in Jamaica. You understand? All right. And here, this one is entitled Praying for Peace. Yes? I saw this picture in I think it was the Gleaner. And I just had to draw it. You understand? Because if you listen to the news and so forth, there's so much tragic situations, and we all need to pray for peace, right? So these two are praying for peace. Right? This is also a color pencil, right? This one is done digitally in terms of it's use a Photoshop software, but I use the mouse like I'm using a paintbrush or a thing and just draw with the mouse,
With the mouse?
Yes, on the screen, you know what I mean? And so this is the eye trees, okay? So I say, okay, if we have Bob Marley, we need to have the eye trees as well, you understand? Right, I can't sculpt everybody, so I did those digitally, yes? Right, and okay, so we're gonna go over to the next board over there. Right. So the title of this one is The Catch. So fishermen just coming in, and there's a lady waiting to buy the fish to, prepare it and so forth, right? So that's scene, that's what that is. This is also oil on canvas, okay? And I don't know if you know Alligator Pond, because we should all know, if you live in Manchester, in Mandeville, we should also know Alligator Pond, right? Because that's where a lot of people go on holidays and so forth to swim and so forth, yes? That's a nice place.
Sorry, I have to go stop something on this, and I remember to stop it.
This picture now is entitled Caribbean Nights. So, I saw this picture, although we don't have a lot of this type of boats in the Caribbean right now, well, in Jamaica, yes? In the Jamaica seas, you won't see a lot of that, but I've got a license to be creative, right? So this is my creativity. I like this boat. I like the sails and so forth, okay? And I just put it. But also we have there are some men here, just like here, where they're pushing up the boat, yes? They're bringing the catch and they're pushing the boat up on the shore, right? These are nets, fishing nets, and also, if you look carefully, there are some fishing nets over here as well. So, a similar theme, right? Now, but this one is acrylic on paper. This, I went to a family funeral, and I saw this little girl, and I was taking pictures, and I had to take a picture of her. And I'm so captivated because I remember, little children wearing the ribbons and so forth, and they have the bubbles and stuff in the hair. And so this is symbolic, the flowers, yeah, beauty and so forth, and tenderness and all of that, yes? And so this is entitled Flower Girl. Okay? Now, this is another digital painting. Well, this is a photograph of a painting I did before, and then I added some text, yes? Because citizenship is very important to me. And I also wrote a book on citizenship and hope to do a series on citizenship. And it says here, a happy citizen has high self-esteem, is assertive, is confident, is productive, cares for others, cares for their environment, is a good neighbor, knows right from wrong, knows how to make wise decisions, knows how to get on with others, knows how to choose friends, knows how to resolve conflicts, right? So that is something that this one here, we in Jamaica, a lot of us, we really need to know how to resolve conflicts, yes? It is so easy to lose control, and then the next thing you hear, somebody get killed, yes? We need to learn to resolve conflicts. And if you're in a situation where you have a problem with someone and you can't face them, you ask a third party, ask somebody you know, who you respect, who you know is wise, yes, to mediate between you so that, you know, it doesn't get nasty and that hopefully you can come to a good solution, yes? Okay, then it says, knows how to plan for the future, knows how to keep themselves safe. Because as an industrial techniques teacher, safety is the most important subject. And it is, it's the most important subject. If you're not safe, then you probably won't be around for too long. Okay, here now, this is where I'm looking at reparations, yes? And, you know, people like Martin Luther King, we have Marcus Garvey, right? And we have Harriet Tubman, yes? So these people have led the way, yes? It says here, I have a dream, I have a plan, I have freed my people. What will we do? Okay? And this is where we can do something. We can make our voices heard. You don't have to be an artist. You can write a statement. You're on Facebook. You're on whatever social media you have. You know, you can make your voice be heard. Yes? And if we have enough people doing that, you'll be surprised that we will get the result that we need. Okay? Now, why do we need reparations? We need reparations so that our children can go off shift system schooling. I teach in a shift system school, and as I said, students leave school at 5 o'clock. Sometimes 5 o'clock is night, especially in December and so forth. Yes, January. It gets dark very early. So you have an 11-year-old or 12-year-old just leaving school, have to go and find taxi to go home. That is very dangerous, right? So we need building, we need school buildings. That is what I think reparations can be used for, right? Our seniors and unwell citizens need good health care and hospitals, right? We need more of that. We need more equipment, you understand, all right? And in each parish, so that, as I said, people don't have to travel, everybody going to Kingston to get treatment. Our farmers need water catchment and irrigation for their crops. Yes, we do need that. Reparations can go a long way in providing that. So reparations for slavery can solve these problems. Raise your voice for reparations. Yes? Even if you think that, okay, you're well set, you don't need it. Over here, we need to be good neighbors. Be good citizens. You understand? Think of raising your voice for those people who cannot afford it. Those people who are suffering the most. All right? Down here, still on the topic of reparations, right? You can see, I think that was one of the queens, Queen Elizabeth, not this one, probably one before, okay? It says here, crime against humanity, right? This is crime against humanity. You know, everybody making a big fuss about who is committing crimes against humanity. This is a big one. All right, this needs to be sorted out. It needs to be solved. Reparations will break the chains. Yes? Okay? Because, I don't know if you can see this picture here, but this is a real picture. These are children, and look at their house. That's a shock, or a shack, or whatever it is, right? Now, reparations can also help them to get good accommodation. Yes? So it says here, poverty, right? It can end poverty, underdevelopment, okay? Right. And this is a picture of I think this is the Lloyd's building in London, right? Okay? So look at that in comparison to this, right? And know that it's our foreparents' blood, sweat, and tears that allowed them to build this. You understand? While we had nothing, we got nothing. You know, we're suffering. You can't even buy a piece of land to build your own house. People are squatting. This needs to be, you know, sorted out. All right? Okay, over here, we have my great hero, the Honorable, the Right Excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey. All right? This one is entitled His Dream for Jamaica. Is it dashed? It might seem as if it's dashed right now. When you listen to the news and you see what's happening, you know, it's like you have to be really strong to really keep hope. All right? This is a gangster. As you can see, there's a gun. So a lot of that is happening daily in Jamaica. Right? And also, I was talking about corruption, right? So this represents one of the big men, white collar crime. Yes? And look at all these are $5,000 bills. Okay? That just shows that all the money that he is ripping off from the country, right? Money that should be used to educate our children and to help our country to develop, all right? So, I'm an African, right? And although my heritage is from West Africa, Ghana to be exact, but all of Africa is ours, yes? And this is North African. The title of this one is Sahara Tribesman. So he lives in the Sahara. You can see his camel, yes, and the desert, okay? I saw this picture, and I just liked the way how the man was looking, you know what I mean? You can see that he's really focused. It's like reflecting on something deep, yes? And I just loved it, so I did that painting. Sahara Tribesman, yes. These are two of my children, right? My daughter and my stepdaughter, okay? And this one is entitled Secret. And well, this one is not for sale, you know? But it was just so nice to see them whispering and, you know, and stuff like that. I took a picture and then I just did a painting of it, okay? So those are the paintings that I have on show at the moment, right? So, but I have some sculptures as well, so we're going to look at the sculptures. Okay. All right. So I studied ceramic design, but not making wares of such, like functional wares, although a sculpture is still functional, right? So I did this sculpture. I think this was the last sculpture that I've done. And this one is called Reggae Fusion. So it's two people dancing, yes? And I call this one Reggae Fusion, and that's it. Okay? And over here now, we have another sculpture. Now, I did this when I was at art school in Jamaica, yes? When I was at Edna Manley College. At that time, it was called Jamaica School of Art, Cultural Training Center, all right? And I did this in the ceramic department there. And this one is entitled Mother's Pain, Mother's Pain. And I know a lot of that is happening in Jamaica right now, where the mother is mourning, yes, is mourning. That's the mother there, and that's the son over here, right? Yes. Now, the decoration on this, I did it. It wasn't, I didn't put a finish on it, like a glaze or anything like that. It was just the raw clay. And I left it in my yard for about a couple of years or so, right? And some plants grow over it. And all the roots tied around it, wrapped up, went into the mouth, all over it, right? And I left it for 2 years. And then I decided that, okay, I'm going to free it now, yes? So when I took off all the plants and so forth, all these designs came on it. So these are not I didn't put these designs on it. That was done by nature, right? This also, yes? Yeah, so this piece is quite old. I did it when I was about 19 or so. I did this one, okay? And it's called Mother's Pain, all right? So over here now, okay, so this one is made from mahogany wood, and it is called IMF Strangulation. This was done 1980, and that was when Jamaica was heavily in debt to the IMF. Yes? I don't know if you remember those days when they were marrying goods and so forth. If you didn't buy this, you couldn't get that and all that. That was that period of time. Yes? So I saw where Jamaica was being squeezed. Yes? So the IMF, right? Okay? So that's the title of that one. Right. So over here, this is also, well, this is ceramic. And I did this one when I was at the University of the Arts in London. It's in 2 pieces, yes, because it's quite heavy. Right. Now, this one is entitled Reconciliation. Reconciliation. And the reason why I named this Reconciliation, right? These 2 figures, the top figure represents God. Although I know God is not a man, yes, but I use this just to illustrate, to represent, this represent God. Try to do age, so like this is the locks, you know, gray and all of that, right? Beard, the mustache and beard and so forth. Eyebrow, you know, all gray. And this is mankind. Yes? And what I'm saying is that we need to make things right with God, because we have done great damage to this world. You know, we have such a beautiful world. Yes? And we have done so much damage to it, right? That we really need to reconcile and, you know, try to make things better, especially for the next generation that's coming. Yes? So that's the title of this piece. Reconciliation. All right. And then we're going to go over here. All right. All right. So I did say that sports and music is where we are excellent. We are excellent when it comes to sport and music. All right? So this one is entitled Trenchtown Rock, and that's Bob Marley. Yes, that's done in cement fondu, and it's quite heavy, but it's still not solid. Yes. All right. So that's the gong. Well, not the original gong according to what we've just heard. You know, the presentation by Mrs. Dixon. right? Okay. And then, this is the last piece on this show, right? Now, this piece is entitled The Right Excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey, yes? And as I said, this man is my greatest hero. Whenever I talk about this man, it's like tears come to my eyes, okay? Because if he was the Prime Minister of Jamaica, right? Just imagine that 60 years ago, right? If this man was the leader of Jamaica, where would you think Jamaica, where do you think Jamaica would be now, right? He went to America and made such a mark in America. This man have chapters all over the world in a time when black people were being hung, being lynched in America, in the belly of the beast. You understand? This man was there, and what he had accomplished. I just respect this man so much. You know what I mean? And I wish that he was able to lead our country, because I really believe that we wouldn't be in the mess that we are in now. You understand? You know? I mean, people find a lot of faults and all sorts of things and whatever it is. But look at the positive, look at don't look at the negative or what people say. What he achieved in that time, you understand? It was like unbelievable as a black man. You understand? So this man will always be my #1 hero. All right? And when I had the opportunity, I made sure that I did the biggest sculpture I could do of him. You understand? Right? I feel like say I could build the rest of the body as well. You know what I mean? But that's my man, my boss. Yeah, man, great man. All right? Okay. And that's it. Thank you very much.